News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
professors decry Islamic violence in California. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. Congratulations, you made it. It's Friday, December the 4th, 2015. Right now we have a cloudy sky, 26 degrees, much warmer than it has been. And we tell you what's going on outside. We've had some freezing rain overnight, which has caused the roads around western Montana to become extremely slick. There's black ice, especially headed east and west out of Missoula on Interstate 90 and on Highway 200 up the Blackfoot. Mostly bare and wet right now, headed down towards Hamilton on U.S. Highway 93 south, but headed north on U.S. Highway 93 over Evero Hill. There's black ice reported there as well. Road crews are out trying to get the sanding trucks and the de-icer trucks underway so for your morning commute, but please use extreme caution as you're driving. Our newscast sponsored by locally owned Office Solutions and Services. Download their Office Shopper app for purchases, barcode scanning, and to search products. Police and federal investigators are reporting that San Bernardino shooter Saeed Farouk was a radicalized Islamist. But before these reports were made known, University of Montana professor Mirdad Kia on Talkback yesterday said the attacks looked suspiciously like those carried out by the Siarna brothers in Boston.
I have no hesitation to actually not only denounce it as a heinous terrorist act, but to call it as what it is. It's radical Islamic terrorism. The case has similarities with the two brothers in Boston.
Former U.S. Ambassador to Senegal Mark Johnson of the Montana World Affairs Council highlighted possible ties between the terror attack and Islamic State.
I hate to bring the bad news to you, but it's worse than we imagine. There are currently 900 active cases pursued by the FBI in all 50 states. 2 days ago, a former Great Falls High School student was arrested in California on charges of aiding and abetting ISIS. So how real is that? He'll probably be sentenced, but it's here. ISIS is an apocalyptic death cult, and my bias is that this can't be anything but a terrorist act.
The student with ties to ISIS Johnson referred to as 22-year-old Nicholas Toussaint, who pleaded guilty Tuesday to attempting to provide material support or resources to a foreign terrorist organization. In a related story, over the last 3 years, MCPS teachers and administrators have undergone what is called active resistance training to prepare for a possible active shooter situation. Lieutenant Dave Conway with the Sheriff's Office said the training, originally introduced by Safariland International, was implemented following the school shootings in Sandy Hook.
We have this mix of instructors that are teachers, college professors, and law enforcement officers. And since then, we've been going around and hosting this armed intruder class many, many times. Like I said, about 1,500 people have been through it in the local area.
Conway says one of the most important parts of the training is to be so well prepared that a teacher would react immediately when an active shooter situation begins.
At the end of the day, we do scenarios where a couple of us will dress up in big padded suits and use blank guns and have everyone in the class divided up throughout a facility, and we'll come in acting just like an active shooter would and firing the blank gun. If they use all of the techniques correctly that we've shown throughout the day, it is a very high likelihood of success.
Personnel at the community center where the shootings took place in San Bernardino were said to have received active resistance training much the same as provided to MCPS teachers and administrators. Wildfires, sage grouse, cybersecurity, and highway funding will be among the topics governors from 4 western states will be taking up with the federal land and transportation officials at a Las Vegas Strip resort. The governors of Wyoming, Montana, Nevada, and Idaho are scheduled to attend the 2-day Western Governors meeting starting today at the Four Seasons Resort. U.S. Secretary of the Interior Sally Jewell is expected to focus during a keynote speech on conservation goals, natural resource development, and the budget-busting costs of fighting wildfire this year in the West. She's also expected to face questions about the effect that ranchers, businesses, developers, and homeowners in 11 western states are feeling from new federal protections for the sage grouse. Missoula law enforcement's reporting several calls from individuals telling consumers that their MasterCard has been compromised or demanding immediate payment. Police spokesman Travis Welsh describes the technique.
The person on the other end is someone who represents as being an employee of MasterCard, and they threaten that the victim or the potential victim's credit card will be locked up if they don't pay their balance. or make a payment of some kind.
Wells says reaching out to the media is the best way to advise potential victims about what to do.
We're just taking this opportunity to remind people to be suspicious. If you are, there's a reason for it. Verify any information you're told over the phone. If you're not comfortable, then hang up. The important thing is to protect yourself and your personal information.
Welsh said when a scammer calls, simply hang up and immediately contact the Missoula Police Department at 552-6300. A federal judge has put on hold until early January a lawsuit over a disputed energy lease near Montana's Glacier Park. District Judge Richard Leon yesterday granted a stay that was sought by both sides in the case. The Interior Department last month said it plans to cancel a 6,200-acre lease. It was granted back in 1982 on land considered sacred to the Blackfeet tribes of the U.S. and Canada. Attorneys for Interior and lease owner Solonex of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, say they need more time to try to resolve the case outside of court. Retailers who sell alternative nicotine products in Montana will have more stringent licensing requirements next year. Montana Department of Revenue spokeswoman Marianne Dunwell explains.
In the past, retailers that sold or currently sell these e-cigarettes, sometimes they're called vapes, alternative nicotine or vapor products, they didn't have to get any kind of a license to sell these products. As of January 1, they will need to have a license in place.
The new license requires a $5 fee, but the most difficult part may be finishing the paperwork during a busy holiday season.
The department is trying to make it as easy and convenient as possible. We realize it's a busy time for retailers during the holiday season. So what we've done is we've made it part of our e-stop licensing program. Retailers can go on, and most retailers know about this.
There are already 7 other forms on the Montana Department of Revenue's e-stop program. Dunwell says an initial fine of $100 is possible for those who fail to get the new license in time. And finally, energy-producing states around the country are feeling the sting of lower prices for oil, natural gas, and coal as they struggle to cover budget plans they made when they were flying high. Many energy-producing states are dipping into their savings to cover state budgets established when energy prices were higher. Those listed include Wyoming, Alaska, and Oklahoma. However, Montana was not mentioned in that story. Newstalk time is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a chance of rain, snow, and freezing rain. Temperatures will sit right around the freezing mark. A slight chance of showers this evening, otherwise cloudy with their lows in the 20s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.